What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a crazy, fun Tuesday. As fun as Tuesdays can be. Tacos are usually done on Tuesday, and well, tacos are always fun. Now, also, hope everybody had a pretty sweet Labor Day. At least those of you that are checking this out in the US. Yeah, it's a nice day. It's usually, so in the US, it's kind of thought of as the last weekend of the summer. And me specifically, I'm in Michigan. And so I'm in the southern part. So I'm not in the really, really cold area. But even the really cold area is kind of nice during the summer. So what happens is a lot of people that live in the state also have little cabins or something up north. So Labor Day, they go up there, they start shutting it down, they dock the boats, they do all those things. So it's one of those kinds of weekends, at least when it comes to the mitten. Now, for everybody checking out on the replay crew, my apologies. I got long-winded. That happens clearly. I want to know, this is kind of, I'm making up for yesterday. So really, we're just looking at figures that came out in the past week that are going to look good under your lights and in front of your lens. So let me know what your favorite figures that went up for pre-order are in the past week. That's kind of the big deal. We're going to talk about a few other things. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this month's photo contest because I set that up and everything with the newsletter, which, by the way, there's a sorry guys, clearly I missed one day and I'm totally off. There's a link in the video description that you can sign up for the free photo guide that adds you to the newsletter. So you'll be able to keep up with this stuff as I'm figuring out all the little logistical parts. But right now, the main stuff's out there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that at the beginning. And then from there, I'm going to go into 3 parts for tonight, basically. Well, 4 parts. Because I'm going to talk about just basic news stuff that we all kind of need to know about if we're into all this craziness for our collections. Then I'm going to go into stuff that I found that I just thought looked straight up cool. That part, it's for me. And then we're going to get into the photogenic figures so you can check those out and be like, oh, this is going to be the good stuff. And the 4th part, of course, from there, is you guys letting me know what I missed that you want to talk about. So, in the chat, Mr. Spencer. Hola, sir. Thank you for stopping by. Eric, hello there. How you doing, man? Mr. Spencer again. My bad. Haven't looked at pre-orders. The wallet's a bit light and will be for a while. John, I totally get it. Don't worry about it. Hopefully things are starting to pan out a little bit more for you. Whew. Because, I mean, I'm kind of, it's not that I'm in the same boat, but I'm saving a lot of money to really push Toypixx forward. So I haven't been buying all that much either. So no worries. I have a feeling you and I are just going to start taking off at the same time. It's going to be good times. It's going to be fun. So I'm going to start this off with first a real quick thing that I think is going to be cool, something I didn't talk about in the newsletter that I want to make sure that you guys see here because I want you to know what I'm planning. Now, this is the homepage of the Toypixx website. Yes, it is still super awesome. See up in the upper right-hand corner where it says photo contests, what I'm going to do to have people enter, and by the way, it's September 23rd is the deadline, and it's a free-for-all. So shoot whatever you want. September 23rd is the deadline. You get 1 image per contest. So if you want to do the YouTube contest and the Patreon contest, you can do 2 images, 1 in each, or you can use the same image for both. So those are things to know. Now, up here where it says photo galleries, I'm going to have the YouTube and the Patreon photo gallery kind of thing there. Or I'm sorry, photo contests. And what I'm going to do is whenever you guys send me your images, I'm going to put on that page your image plus all the social media or contact info you want me to share with the world. That way, when people go to the photo contests, if they see your stuff and they like it, they'll click on any of those links and go find you. So that's something I want to do for all of you, just because you're going to kill it. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So that's what I'm thinking about when it comes to the photo contests. And then I wanted to bring up, hang on, I got to find what I did with Here it is. Just a little something here that you can check out, that you can read real quick, because we're going to stop sharing. Whew, I'm backing up. I scare me, really. When I'm on there, I frighten me a little bit. Now, it did not, let's see here. Well, that ain't cool. I wonder, this should work. Hold on. Now let's see if I can make it work. Oi. Present, share screen. All it is, let's go here. Here we go, I believe. No, that's dumb. All right, well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to read what I have on the screen right now so you can catch up on everything that has to do with the contest, because for whatever reason, it's not pulling up. This makes me sad, obviously. So, oh, you know what? Hold on, folks. Let's try this with something else. This is me being a total rookie, not knowing what's happening with life. Now I'd be willing to bet I've got it. Yeah, this is the one of those live streams where I just sit here and play until here we go. All right. Now I took this directly from the newsletter. So there are basically 3 rules. No nudity. Now, the reason I say that is because now I make a joke in here about how the internet doesn't like naked toys, but really I want to feature this stuff on sites like my own. I might want to throw things, like we will want to throw things up on YouTube for possible critiques and things like that. And I just don't know how the internet's going to treat such things. So none of that. Let's see. And like I said before, 1 entry / image per contest. And you got to be 18. So let me see if I missed anything else that I told you. Let's see. Or anything that I missed. You can use whatever you want for the image. No big deal. I'll have entry details and voting parameters figured out in the next couple weeks. Entries will be due September 23rd to give people plenty of time to vote. There's no theme this month, so shoot whatever you want. Finally, I'll pay shipping. If the winner's in the US, the winner pays shipping. If they're not. So that's what we've got right now. And that is for the Patreon contest. And that is also for the Toypixx contest. Now, what I'm going to announce in next week's newsletter are the prizes for each of those contests. Right now, they're winner take all. As they grow, I might start adding a couple things. But that's where we're at. Okay. I kind of failed with technology, but now I'm back. Let's catch up with all of you guys, find out what's up. As soon as Boss Fight Studio gets me my red Sonya, I'll pre-order the next thing. They look good, and I've been waiting for that 4-inch retro sci-fi line since 2016, when they first showed their designs. Wow. I don't think I saw the 4-inch one. Let's see. Have to settle for the 6-inch. See, that's not settling. That's not settling at all. They're glorious. Looking forward to Mafex Daredevil coming out. As far as recent reveals, I can hardly remember, but I did order the Brutal Realm figures. Mr. Element, that is awesome. I need the one, like I saw BBTS has the pre-orders. I mean, we've been talking about that for a while now. I need the Vader. Like, I need that Vader figure. So that one will be necessary. And then I think his guards are called the Shadar or something. I'm going to need guards. Yeah, there's a lot that basically I've been sold. Tragic. What's up, Dave in chat? What is up, Tragic? Thank you for stopping by, sir. All right, so I think we're pretty much caught up on all the the photo contest details. Oh, by the way, something I should have shared in the newsletter that I'll be sure to share in the upcoming newsletter is that you'll be emailing this stuff at, and listen, this is where it gets tricky. I'm hoping I can remember the email address, toypixx@gmail.com. Don't worry, like I said, that'll be in the newsletter, and I'll make sure and float it out there everywhere I can think of on the socials. So that's what I've got for the big time contests. Gonna shut down a couple windows here, and now we're gonna jump right in after how long that preamble was with the news. Let's head in here. If you saw what I talked about a little bit, or you saw the headline and everything, Hasbro decided to just reissue a bunch of stuff that people kind of missed out on or kind of need, or maybe they weren't collecting at the time. I actually had this Professor Xavier. I just stopped collecting Legends, so I ended up selling them. But I think that figure was 2018, 2019, something like that. So this one's been waiting for a reissue for quite some time. And as always, I've got links to all this stuff, affiliate links mostly, in the video description. So if you see something you dig, go check it out. There is a lot worth digging here, and I've got it all. There's one group of figures we're going to talk about that I totally missed. That's not in the description, but don't worry. You can just find them because they're going to be pretty easy to find. But yeah, we've got a Professor X reissue. Have you guys ever had one of those nights where it just feels like words are not your strong suit? Because I'm having one of those right now, it feels like. And then when it comes to the Black Series, we've got all kinds of craziness here. We've got Darth Malak, which I remember he didn't go up that long ago. I'm kind of surprised that he's already being reissued. This Obi-Wan I know was super popular and didn't go. I mean, he went up. I don't know. I remember he was pretty tough to find. Asajj Ventress, and I put up some affiliate links, and I had somebody get a hold of me and say, "Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for Darth Nihilus." So there you go. Those are pretty much the big time reissues when it comes to the Black Series, when it comes to Marvel Legends. Not necessarily photogenic figures, but I know that people really want them. I know people have been clamoring for this kind of stuff, and they missed out. So I figured I should probably talk to them about it right here. And we'll leave Nihilus up while I chat a couple times here. See, I will chat when I can. I'm working on call. No worries, Tragic. Good luck. Mr. Matson sent you the original 4-inch designs. It was supposed to be wave 3 of the Vitruvian hacks. Okay, got it. Cool beans, Mr. Matson. I assume that's on IG, right? Or, as the kids like to say, the Insta. Nolan, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. All right, so those are the big time reissues that Hasbro's got going on. Now, let's grab, I feel like I'm a mess already, and I've even got these files saved. Except, you know what? Nah, we won't go there just yet. Let's go to Other. Select all, I can't, apparently I can't do too much at once, and that's not even me being all, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't open multiples of some of these windows so that I can have things ready to be called up. And maybe that does mean I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not sure yet. More news type stuff in case you missed it. I will now share the screen. They do scare me, I have to say. So we've got some Marvel Legends Outriders from Infinity War. Now, again, this is more of the news type stuff that people can check out. And if they dig them, they can click in the description and get some, or they can find them wherever they want. These aren't necessarily for me, not even forget the fact that they don't have a lot of extras and everything else, but I'm not much of a movie guy when it comes to Marvel. But I know a lot of people are. Look at that. That is kind of a cool head on that guy. Like I think the simpler head, yeah, those. I think that's a pretty crazy head. So that would be the Marvel Legends Outriders. And then we get to the Call of Duty Spawn. Now, I want Todd to really start. I want all the Spawn figures to just be awesome. I feel like the Spawn figures should be awesome every single time. And they look cool, but they just don't come with I mean, I shouldn't say that. This one comes with several guns, but he doesn't have an extra head. He doesn't have extra hands. And there's something, I just want more out of the capes when it comes to the Spawn figures, you know? But I mean, he comes with plenty of guns, and a lot of people are totally cool with that. But when it comes to photography, I need more expression. Like right now, I look at him and I'm like, well, he's got two open hands. Maybe he just can hold two guns at a time at all times. But that leaves a lot of posing options that aren't quite available. I think he looks good, and as a figure, I'm pretty impressed with his look. I do wish there was a cloth cape, but I know that you can get a lot of aftermarket capes for him. But yeah, that's it. And I think that what they do with Spawn is good. I just wish they do a little more. And then we've got Tactical Spawn from Call of Duty. Now, this one's cool because rocket launcher. But I actually just see it as kind of, I don't remember this from way back or anything. So I just see it as normal suit guy with a Spawn head. But again, plenty of cool stuff. Looks like he's got a gun there that a Jack Nicholson Joker could use if anybody ever paid the license to get that. And now we're into Super 7 Silverhawks. Now, you guys know me. I'm not so into Super 7 only because they don't have the double joints and most of them don't have the ball jointed waist and all that stuff. So I've been more excited about Super 7 since I saw the announcement about the double jointed elbows and knees on Turtles. So I'm kind of paying a little more attention. And I do have to say, I know that we're having problems or people are having problems with flaking and all that stuff with these things, but I think this one looks cool. It's not something I'd get. I vaguely remember Silverhawks, but I do remember this guy. But I got to give it to him. I think the shine, if it ends up that good, turned out really well. Then you've got Mo-Lec-U-Lar. I don't recognize this at all. Maybe, well, you know what? With those heads, maybe. So I don't know. Let me know, guys, in the comments if you're really looking forward to the Silverhawks line here. Steelwill, or in the chat, I suppose. Yeah, he's a Steelwill guy. I don't know. I don't have this affinity. It's kind of like Thundercats for whatever reason. Now, I remember Thundercats way more than these. I just didn't have this crazy longing for Thundercats figures. Obviously, with Super 7, they all come with tons of accessories, but oftentimes the quality control, when I check out reviews, they're kind of all over the place. So that kind of keeps me away too. Now we've got a Lord Drakkon or Drakkon. I don't know. I need to learn my Power Rangers a little better. But his colors look good in the renders here. Maybe that's more than renders. So yeah, there you go. That's kind of the news. Let's go see how everybody's reacting to all that stuff. See what you got. Let's see. Harry, what's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Dave can say it's a real YouTube stream now that Nolan stopped by. Yes, I'm in. Well then, double thank you, Nolan. Harry, those in Warhammer 40k Tyrannid Gene Stealer, I'm going to guess, would make pretty badass general monsters. Oh man, now you're talking languages I don't know. I do want to look in Warhammer 40k though. I feel like I need to understand more about that stuff. I won't get Super 7 unless it's something no one else will ever make. Now, see, I'll be tempted when they do the double jointed elbows and knees. I've had trouble saying that twice now. And if I'm very honest, easily bar none, my favorite party wagon that came out last year is the Super 7 one. It's just the styling. I just like that it calls back to the old toy, and it's even a little more insane. There is something about that I really like. And yes, I would totally get it and have my Mirage Turtles driving it around because we can do that. But aside from that, I'm just not interested in a lot of the licenses. I love Silverhawk's designs, but the story gets boring really quick. Thundercats, I love still to this day, but Super 7 is iffy. QC issues and the vac metal flakes if you touch too much, apparently. That's what, yeah, I've been hearing that kind of thing. So people were really stoked about it, and then it's not working well, but it also sounds like it's really tough to make it work well. So I don't know. That said, I'm probably buying the new Light Up Eyes Lino. I'm a sucker for Thundercats, even though the torso cut is really non-functioning. Torso cuts. Yuck. That's just me, though. Alrighty. Well, we got through that. Now, let's go to the cool. And to go to cool, I'm going to go back. Let's see. I'm going to go back here to Big Bad. And this is not something, nothing in cool really is stuff that I normally cover. But this is something that is pretty necessary for the vintage collection fans out there. This is Luke Skywalker's Red 5 X-Wing. And holy crap, if I were into collecting vintage collection, I'd be all over this. I know they talk about how HasLab is for dream projects. My dream projects for a HasLab Star Wars would be Black Series X-Wing, Black Series Darth Vader's TIE Fighter, and definitely the dream is Black Series Millennium Falcon. It seems less and less likely any of that will ever happen, but if you're talking dream projects, an upscaled version of this bad boy would do it. I would be ecstatic to have this. So I wanted to go through the pictures here, the video. Yeah. Wow. And this is the first time, like I knew it was up there and I saw the main image, but this is the first time I've really gone through to look at the pics with you guys. So I'm kind of slowing it down a bit here. Man. And this is the bigger one too. I have the big Millennium Falcon just because I thought it was so cool. How could I not? But I don't know that I'd do that with this X-Wing. But again, if they made this in Black Series, yeah, I think this is very cool. And it makes me crazy happy. Something else, while we're here, I was going to talk about it a little later. But this is the thing that I totally missed when I was going through everything. And that is all these Cosmic Legions. See what we've got here. Make sure everybody's okay, cool. Cosmic Legions like mad. All this stuff. I do love what the Four Horsemen do as far as their designs. They're crazy. I love that what their choice is when they make these figures. and these accessory sets is to go in and give them a ball jointed waist. Like if I think I've talked about, and I'm sure I've talked about this before, but movement comes more from the waist. It takes a lot more work for us as humans to try and move just the diaphragm. Waist is where it's all at. So plus, if you put a ball peg waist in the waist, you don't have the waist cut. But what I prefer, if you can only do one piece of torso articulation, I prefer the ball peg to the diaphragm cut. So the ball peg waist. And that's something that Four Horsemen does that I really like. Now here's this guy. I did go through this one because he's pretty much, what was the character in He-Man? Was it Buzz-Off? But I mean, check this thing out. Like, look at that. This thing's cool. All kinds of accessories. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that they still had pretty much single elbows and single knees, actually, and I'm getting less and less picky about single knees, but things definitely need double jointed elbows, then I would probably be picking up quite a few of these things. Yeah, I think they're pretty sweet. Let's see. I got that X-Wing. Good man, Eric. That thing's glorious, isn't it? Let's see. I'm an 80s baby, and as much as I love Silverhawks and Thundercats, I'm G.I. Joe and selective lines. It's tough, man. I admire the control that brings you. I am not near that control. That's why I oftentimes don't try a line out, is because I'm afraid I'm going to fall down the rabbit hole. Stripped of electronics and more expensive. Thanks, Hasbro. Well, you know, I need to know. I remember seeing the first one. I don't remember any of its features. And honestly, most of the time I'm okay without electronics, but maybe with the ships in Star Wars, they probably should. Yes, Buzz Off. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. I had Buzz Off when I was a kid. I just didn't remember exactly what was going on name-wise. Carouse. Hello, man. Thank you for stopping by. Kyrus. Kyrus 1. Carouse. I don't know. I'm going with Kyrus. It seems like Kyrus. But you can let me know either way. Let's see. I was just reposing some of my Mythic Legion skeleton warriors. Man, those things are beautiful. Well, as beautiful as skeletons can be. But yeah, I've been a big fan of those for a long time. I just, I've got my rules that I keep in place so I don't have to go too crazy with the purchases. But it does cause me to miss out on stuff I'd definitely like to check out. I don't know what this thing is. I don't even know what the animal is. Is it like, it looks like it's wearing armor, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe that's just kind of an exoskeleton that the animal itself has. And I think maybe they did a weird listing thing going on here, because there probably should have been a person, or because I did look through this. Let me see here. Yeah, highly detailed, each figure, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not sure that this is exactly the right listing, but like that picture maybe feels like it might have gotten thrown into the wrong listing. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. I didn't notice that, and I did look through these. You don't think of that going on so much with the Cosmics. That's kind of cool. Yeah, something cool about Cosmic Legions is I think you can have a lot of fun in the Star Wars world with these things. And they always come with really cool stuff. I'm trying to see, what do we have here? Ox Crew. Yeah, like maybe this is the guy that listing was. Yeah, I have to say, I am a little tempted. Yep, there we go. I am a little tempted by Cosmics. Mythics, not as much, just because that's not my kind of thing. But the Cosmics are kind of crazy. What do we have here? These were. This is something, guys. Just so you know, like everything else, once we get through here, I checked out everything. But this is stuff that I looked at, I kind of glanced at, and just realized, kind of emergent, like, oh crap, I totally missed those when I was covering or when I was gathering everything for everything else. Ooh, I love that blue head against the yellow body. Oh yeah, that guy's cool. What a bunch of crap. Why they gotta make cool stuff? Trying to see. Man, if they just angle that a little bit, angle that bicep up just a touch, just give us a little more range. Yeah, that's a cool figure. As I'm going through and just clicking buttons, let's see how everybody else is doing real quick. Yeah, going. Let's see. You got Kyrus one right. Awesome sauce. Thank you, sir. That's right. I just said awesome sauce. Nolan, that mount looks really good. Can't remember his name. I'll head back. We'll look at the name of that thing. I have one Mythic Legion. It's really good. Cloth goods with wires, solid accessories. Only downside, he said it feels fragile. Oh, John. I think that's the first time I've heard anybody say that a Mythic Legion figure feels fragile. But I mean, I've never heard anybody say they feel especially sturdy. It just surprises me. Let's see here. Horror Zone Bungee. I thought there was another mount that was shown somewhere down here. Book one. Yeah, book one would be the older stuff, I believe. We're looking at book two stuff right now. It might be, hang on, this is the guy, book two, Thraxian Hunter. All right, so we've got a Thraxian Hunter, which must mean the Cosmic Legion's Ox Crew Book 2 Hero Zone Bungee is the name of the mount, is the name of this creature. Bunji. Although it just says deluxe action figure. Maybe it is a figure. Maybe I don't know. It is $54.99. So if we compare that with the price of the regular figures, yeah, there you go. That would probably be the mount. So there you go. Bungee. See what else? There's just so much here. And it's awesome. Like I don't know what else to say. I love the work they put into it. I really do. And once they start going in with some double elbows, I'll love it even more. Because I would definitely be tempted by Cosmics. This guy, just look at this. The work, guys, like the design that goes into this stuff. I'm going to talk about Boss Fight Studio later tonight and talk about, I'm sure I'm going to let it out, how much I love the designs of those things. But look at the designs of these things. Like I kind of gloss over Cosmic and Mythic Legions, not because I don't think they look good, but because of the lack of articulation, so I don't pay much attention to them. But the way that they're done and the imagination that goes into putting these things together, I wish I still had that. Like I used to have a decent imagination. Maybe I just need to. I almost don't have the time to cultivate it. Ooh, this guy even comes with like a little, it looks like a drill, some screwdriver looking deals, big old wrench. This thing's set. You could buy this guy just for accessory pieces for your dios. That is Hero's Own Cog. K-O-G-G. That's something else about these names. That one's not too hard. Bungie wasn't too hard. Uh-oh. But then we found Ahgcha. A-H-G-C-H-A. Maybe his last name's Cha too, so it's Ahgcha. This is why I don't talk. That's just cool. I love that they can go in. One nice thing about Mythic Legions that you can't really do with, say, something you'll find at Target or Walmart, for instance. Like, and this isn't to knock them. They're huge companies and they got that way for a reason. So this isn't a shot at all. But like you look at Hasbro's lines and there's just tons of reuse across them. You look at Mattel's Masters of the Universe lines, even more reuse across those. And here, it's like, obviously there's some repaints, but every figure gets its own consideration. And that's just really cool to me, like how long and slim this guy's arms are. Let's go back real quick. Like, look at that. That's just cool. That's just cool. Ahgcha. All right. And now, let's see, book one. I think we'll check this out. Ooh, hold on. Let me look at the name of this one. Oh, the Shadow Circle Deluxe figure. That was easy. Yeah, and this thing, to take pictures of it, oh, this would be a fun one to shoot. Ooh, that's gruesome. Egad, man. He's almost got a Kree thing going. Ooh, that's almost more gruesome. Now that's a cool helmet. I think we might have seen that at the beginning. Look at all those heads, hands. Yeah, they do really good work. So I don't want to take anything away from the Mythic Legions guys, from the Four Horsemen, Cosmic Legions, all this stuff. I love the look of what they do. It's just the elbows. If they can get those elbows to work better, ooh, ooh, Cosmic Legions will be mine. Let's check in on everybody. This is kind of, we're still in the cool section here. I am really picking and choosing the Mythic and Cosmic Legions. I can see why, Harry. These things can get pricey in a hurry, but they're also very cool. So it's got to be difficult to decide how to do the picking and choosing. I'm not saying it is fragile, just feels that way. Gotcha, John, gotcha. I've had that with SH Figuarts Star Wars. And it's not that they ever broke or anything, but they're just, it's almost fragile in like a fiddly way, maybe in a fiddly sense. He comes with a soft goods bedroll. Oh yeah, man. These guys are crazy. If Four Horsemen didn't make a success of Cosmic Legions, let's see, Boss Fight never would have released their retro sci-fi line. So disappointing, they only want to play off of other lines. They could have. Well, I'll tell you, it's difficult. It's difficult to gamble as a business. Cornered the market on retro sci-fi. Yeah. But Boss Fight's not Hasbro, and they haven't made the names for themselves, I don't think, yet that the Four Horsemen have. So it does get tough. I remember I read something about an interview with 3-0, and they said the smartest thing they ever did, because they started out trying to do their own things, they said the smartest thing they ever did was go after licensed IP like Transformers, because suddenly they got to really show what was going on, and the sales started going nuts. So it's difficult to gamble. I understand why. I'm like a lot of people. I want to see new stuff for sure. But I also am on the business side of things, so I know that making new stuff is always a gamble, and the smaller the business, the more of a gamble it is. So I understand what Boss Fight's going with. I kind of understand what would be happening there. So I understand what you're saying, but from the business perspective, I'm okay with them doing that. I hope that they're able to do enough where they can kind of blow up a little bit. Like the Transformers license, let's face it, is much bigger than the Garfield or the Popeye, or I would think the Fraggle Rock license. So they're trying to get some licenses. It's kind of like when Hasbro will sit there and say, we need to reuse this stuff so that we can make more new figures. It's kind of like that, I'm sure, with a lot of these companies is we need to hit things, we need to find great IP that makes us a lot of money so we can try and do our own thing, which is tricky, especially with the IPs they've got. Maybe Fraggle Rock's bigger than I'm thinking, but I don't think most of those IPs are anywhere near Transformers level. That guy is a Fisher Price Adventure People alien. Is he really? That'd be sweet. I do like that Mythic Legions takes a lot of that stuff and runs with it. Tributes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know they do a lot of MOTU tributes. They've been around for about as long as Four Horsemen, and they've been pretty successful with their stuff. They did just outmaneuver two of the founding members. Maybe that'll help them out. I mean, maybe just because they've been around as long as the Four Horsemen doesn't mean they're as well known. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you can have somebody working on something for 10 years and somebody else working on something similar for 10 years. And this person, for whatever reason, just knows how to do a whole lot more maneuvering, like you say, and suddenly a lot more people know who this person is. So there's a lot of that. I'll be honest, I've been hearing about the Four Horsemen for a long time. I hadn't heard about Boss Fight till the last couple of years. So that might just be me with blinders. Now, okay, so we're done with the cool stuff as far as BBTS is concerned. I can close out that window. Woohoo! And now we'll go to the actual cool stuff folder. And I think you guys are going to enjoy this. At least I did. Da 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 da. Open, open, open. Go. But sometimes it just opens way out of order, so I have to do it twice. I don't get that. I know that I didn't do that wrong. All right, now let's give this another shot. Ugh, and I know I didn't do it wrong because the second time is always the charm. Open, you fiends. Double checking, double checking. All right, we are good to go. Okay. You guys love sitting there and being like, let's see how technically inefficient he is tonight. All right. We're going to share this. Now, I don't know if you guys have heard me talk about this stuff in the past. This is something that I just found out exists actually, but it's called 30 Minutes Fantasy. And something that I've gotten for my niece in the past is a line called 30 Minutes Sisters. Now, she's a pretty young kid, but she loves putting things together. She loves figuring out how things work. And these are model kits that aren't crazy difficult to do. In fact, they call them the 30 minutes because after you've played with a few, you can get pretty quick at them. So if you guys like the looks of things like this, or if you know anybody that likes to just putz around with models and make something happen real quick, these might be some things that you want to check out, or even just some kids that want to try their hands at modeling. And they're not crazy expensive. I think all these are between, it's either 21 or 22 to 30 bucks. So they're not too bad. And you'll see some breakout images as I go. This one is, let's see, 30 Minutes Fantasy, some kind of Liber archer, I believe. So it's basically robots that look like they're dressed up for medieval fighting. And there's kind of the breakout of all the armor bits you put together. Now you put together the figure and then you put the armor parts on over them. And so this is just stuff, and when you're done, you have an articulated action figure. So this is just stuff I find really cool, basically because one, I didn't know the fantasy one existed, and two, I get to do this stuff with my niece and she enjoys it. So if you have somebody else that's similar in your life, or if you love doing this kind of stuff or anything, here you go. They're super simple, but they're a lot of fun. They're super cool. I also got her a 30 minutes mission. It was a robot. Don't get the Spinatia fencer type, because what happens there is when you plug the shoulders into the torso, it's like they didn't make the peg long enough, so the balls are partially sticking out of the torso. And my nieces even said, if you look at it wrong, the arms fall out because of that. So avoid that one, but I haven't had any problems with any others. But yeah, I just think I love that you basically make your own action figures. They don't have a lot of paint, obviously, but they're cheap enough where you could do something with that. Like this thing looks kind of like a knight or something. All the parts. This one's a warrior. And this one I clicked on just because, okay, like this is a knight. And this is a ruffian knight. Don't mess with this thing. This is the one that was 30 bucks, but look at all the accessories, all the parts that you get to use. Serious breakouts on this guy. Anyway, I saw these. I thought they were very cool. Now we've got another archer, I believe the Rosan archer, which this one I clicked on. Like I saved these images because he reminded me of Shockwave. If Shockwave used a bow and arrow. Actually, maybe you could have like these armor things, and if anybody has a Hawkeye, you can pop off the Hawkeye head and put on one of these archers and see what happens. That might actually be a cool look for this. And even if you don't do that, look at all the bow and arrows and everything else. Like he's got a quiver back there that works. He's actually holding an arrow. Pretty cheap accessory kits, honestly. And then here's this thing. This thing cracked me up. It's the Azukibar. It's basically a transformer. I mean, it's not a transformer. I can't remember. It's Bandai, so I don't know what the line is technically called. But he looks awesome, right? He looks insanely cool. Like this looks like a robot you don't want to mess with. And then he turns into this, which to me is hilarious. It's just one of those things that cracks me up. And I saw it like the popsicle stick is the sword. I saw it and I couldn't help but laugh. I was pretty much blown away by how much fun that thing is. Let's catch up here in the chat real quick. Sweet, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, those are cool. This is very customizable. Truth. Yeah, and they're really not expensive either, which makes them even more fun. You're like, well, if something goes wrong, I might just replace it. Who knows? Those archers are very cool. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that popsicle robot was so cool. Had he come out already and I didn't know? Let's see. I think it's Solo Chogokin line. Huh. All right. Anyway, yeah, I saw it. It cracked me up. It's like, I need to talk about this. And then got a little more there. It just cracks me up because it looks like such a tough robot. And then you get this. They even tried to make him look tough in the promo shots. Like, look at his face. He's almost got a samurai thing going on. Which I guess makes sense with the big flag looking deals going on his back. This is basically Cosmos. It's not, but that's what his arms remind me of. And then we have Rodimus Unicronus. Now, this isn't a 1/12 scale figure. I love the MDLX line, so I figured I'd throw it in the cool stuff. The Rodimus is already out. And yeah, if you've got him, you're probably good. But if you like the shattered glass type stuff, I mean, the colors, you can't go wrong with purple, black, and gray. I mean, it's a good looking figure. All these MDLX Transformers, like this is my Transformer line here, is the MDLX stuff. I can see me also adding, in the future, I'd like to add Yellow Park and the Missing Link figures to that list. And I'd like to be so tempted by Hasbro stuff that I pick some of that up. But lately, I just haven't been, the past couple of years. I love that pose. That almost has shades of the old Hot Rod card art or box art from, what was it, 86. Yeah, I know I'm kind of rushing through, but everybody's seen the Rodimus mold if you're into this stuff. But I think these repaints are pretty cool. I'm not a repaint guy myself on this line for the most part, except obviously I'll probably end up with repaints of the jets. But I thought it was cool. Close, you fool. Ooh, it's me again. Hello. How tall are 30? Let's see. They're about, if they're the same as the 30-minute sisters, they're pretty much 1/12 scale. I think they're a little shorter, but not by much. I never actually took the tape measure to them, but I had other figures with them and they looked right. Like I've gotten her as Spider-Man, and Spider-Man next to some of these things looks perfectly fine. But I could, hold on, we'll go back and check on that. Let's see. I mean, when I saw, oh, okay, Eric, okay. I was nervous. I'm like, man, did I miss something else? Was I once again a bad nerd? Let's see, it's totally a samurai. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't catch that with what was going on his back. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting the G1 Yellow Park figures almost in. Yeah, they look really good, I have to say. Always liked Hot Rod. Even liked him when they made him Rodimus Prime. Oh, Nolan. I remember being the kid in the movie watching Transformers, the movie, and ever since then being like, Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime. And people are sitting there, people today are going, how does that even make sense? And I think growing up, and I'm sure all of us pretty much, or many of us were growing up at the same time, sitting there watching that and thinking, I know Prime's not going to shoot if one of his guys is possibly in the way, even if he's a crack shot. Except then you think about it, and there was a G1 episode where he actually shot off a seatbelt while Spike was moving in a train thing heading towards the space bridge. So maybe Prime should have shot. I don't know. If you think of it that way, maybe that was his fault he died. No, I will not think of it that way. It's Prime time. Although, Hot Rod definitely has a cool design. And I didn't hate Rodimus. I just had this, it's Hot Rod thing in my head. See, it doesn't say even on the Bandai website. Really? Okay, let me go see if I can find some of them with a height. Yellow Park mess up. They should have made the Optimus and Megatron, etc. masterpiece size so you can mix them in. They're kind of, aren't they close to like the main Hasbro size, just a little taller? John, look, Optimus Prime, that version, wouldn't have pulled that trigger in a million years. Megatron would have had the drop on him every time. See, I totally agree when we're watching Transformers, the movie. And then, like I said, I thought about the episode from G1 where they've got Spike. If you remember, there was this little car. There were a bunch of Energon cubes in it. There was this little car on tracks, and Spike was heading towards the space bridge. Like the Decepticons had captured him, put the seatbelt, like put the harness on him and everything. And Prime has got to be, he's got to be a couple hundred yards away from Spike anyway. He shoots and he clips the seatbelt or the harness or whatever, and Spike's able to get out. So now I'm thinking about it and going, ooh, I don't know. But overall, you're right. It's just now my own remembering G1's messing with me. And that's the first time that's happened. Let me head back real quick. Let me go find a 30 minutes fantasy figure and see if I can find, and I'll report back with the size. If I see it on there, I'll just bring it up on screen. All right, 30 minutes fantasy, model kit, plastic. Well, that's not helpful. $23.99, by the way, guys. I thought we were looking at $21.99. Let me try, let's see. I'll look at that Warrior because he's been up for pre-order a while ago, or since a while ago, I think. Let's see, build, pose, display, blah, 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 blah. Man, I don't know. It doesn't give the price, or I'm sorry, it doesn't give the size, but they are comparably priced to the 30 Minutes Sisters. So my assumption, which is also comparably priced to the 30 Minutes Missions. So my assumption would be they're going to be pretty close to the same size, which is pretty close to 1/12 scale. But sadly, like you're saying, you can't find the Hideon Bandai. So obviously, 30 Minutes fantasy line is difficult to find their height on Entertainment Earth as well. My bad, man. I was hopeful. All right. Now it's time to get to the photogenic figures. And I was able to stall a little bit on that just because, wait, hold on. What do we got? Mr. Mad Gus. We're all doing well. Well, I'm doing well. The chat's having fun, so I'm assuming they're mostly doing well. Good Lord, look at this. Nobody wanted to see that. My fault. All right. I need a bigger monitor. That way I can back off, and a keyboard that comes out this way. Maybe I should make adjustments. Okay, now, like I was saying before, we are into the actual photogenic figures. And it's not tons, but it's stuff that looks really cool. And if you're into these characters, you're going to enjoy taking pictures of them, I think. Hey, look at that. It actually opened correctly the first time. Present screen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, SH Figuarts, we have Andy from, what is it, Undead something, Undead Unluck or Unluck, I don't know, something like that. Let me see here. Maybe I can, there it is, Undead Unluck. Wow, go me. Clearly I need to learn more when it comes to the whole anime thing, or is this one a manga? I'm not even sure. We got sword, we got smiling head, we got finger pointer, finger blaster. This guy actually has finger guns. Running. I love the different faceplates that Bandai always uses. Bandai. That's going to be my Mafex. I have no idea how to pronounce it. And then you've got Fuko Izumo, I believe. Let me see. Let me see if I'm right. Fuko. Oh, wow, everybody. I want you to know that I was right. I think it's important that everybody realize such things. But yeah, we've got that going. She's got a totally new head there. Looks like same hands, fists. All right, there you go. That's less fists and more pulling down the hat. Ooh, we've got ungloved hand, open palm. Oh, so hold on before we get into these guys. Let's see if people are talking about Undead Unluck or whatever. Let's see, Mr. Madgos. He showed up. The people said hola. That's key. Ghost Tab, what's going on, man? Thanks for stopping in. Let's see. Ooh, a good one, huh? I got it, man. I saw Alien, for those of you who didn't know. Now I've got to watch Conan the Barbarian, and then I've got to triage everything else in the world I've missed. Ever. Ghost Tab. Andy is immortal and uses regeneration to fight. That's why he sticks the katana on his arm for momentum. Oh, weird. That's something else I appreciate about these guys then. They know how to do the whole get things like posing them up like they're in the show. Bandai makes some really great figures. I know. And I need to figure out what I'm going to get from these guys. I really want to start a pop culture collection, and I think I'm going to need some Goku at least. I saw this show. It's a good show. I'm guessing we won't be getting a nude figure of him. What was it? Amazing Yamaguchi has done a figure that's pretty much like that, so maybe. Fuko. Good Lord. Boy. Fuko uses her touch to give people bad luck. That's why she takes her glove off. Oh, so she's kind of the opposite of Domino. Or maybe just a lighter version of Rogue. Although Domino, that's her mutant power to just have herself have good luck. We rewatched Conan the Barbarian and the Destroyer this past weekend. All right, so am I hearing things like what I've heard about Destroyer from you guys? Is you can probably skip that one, but you have to see Barbarian. Awesome that you watched Alien. Now you need to watch Aliens. I was talking to a buddy of mine and he said, you gotta watch Aliens. And then I said, and it sounds like I can just skip to Alien Romulus pretty much, right? He's like, yeah, but Alien versus Predator is just stupid fun, so you should watch that too. I'm like, all right, we might watch some stupid fun. I do enjoy stupid fun anyway. Ghost Tab, I watched Terminator, let's see, Origin, what is it? I can't remember. Terminator 1, I believe, right? On Netflix. Best Terminator after the original 2 movies. I still need to see Terminator 2, but I'm an okay nerd because I've seen 1. So that's awesome. That's awesome to hear. Whew. So Toypixx, are you collecting G.I. Joe Classified or Thundercats? I don't really do Thundercats. I just don't remember. I mean, I remember them, but it just never did much for me. Classified, I do love G.I. Joe, but I'm still picking and choosing. So what I've been doing is getting any of them that come with extra hands. So I've got Scarlet and Duke that came out this year, the retro versions. But now I'm not so sure how far I want to go with that, because I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I had all these as a kid. I'd like them to do some new stuff. So Jinx, I want to check out because she's totally new. So it's not that I'm collecting like hardcore the lines, but I am looking at them as, ooh, I want to try that figure out, or I want to try that figure out. Like the Nemesis Immortal, had to remember Immortal there, looks insanely cool. And I definitely want to check that one out. Let's see. Alien Romulus is good. That's what I've heard. The only thing I've heard is some people have said the end. The end isn't great, but everything else is awesome. Oh, yeah. Pick's got some Joes. I did a video on Duke where I actually talked about how great the figure is, even though the character itself absolutely sucks. And that was the whole theme of the video. It got a lot of views just because people thought I was harsh on Duke. And so it got a lower like percentage because I think people really like Duke. Alien, let's see, Monday is better than Romulus. It's a 20-minute animation on YouTube. Ooh, I haven't heard of that. But if it's a 20-minute animation on YouTube, even I should be able to take care of watching that. I'm collecting only the Joes that look like in the cartoon. Ah, see, now we're kind of going opposite a little bit. But combine our collections and you get something really rad. Alien Romulus is 100% fan service. Awesome. Then I guess I better see it pretty quick after Aliens. Let's see. His posing is grazie, man. Alien versus Predator is worth the watch. Same with Predators. Adrian Brody fights the Predator and Topher Grace along with Danny Trejo and Fat Morpheus. Really? Awesome. Yeah, that's what my buddy was saying. He's like, it's just stupid fun. You got to check it out. All right. Uno mas, then we'll continue on. We can defiantly be friends. We do a stream every Tuesday evening on pop culture. Ooh. See, I do enjoy the heck out of Predators. That's something I got to see Predator. And I will get to the choppa and all that stuff. But I'm telling you, I'm trying to correct my bad nerd ways. Now, let's get back to the good stuff. Okay, so we've got the Boss Fight Studios figures, or Boss Fight Studio, my apologies. I like to add that extra S. And the designs are wicked. I love the designs. But like I was saying, how Mythic Legions does, if you can only do one piece of torso articulation, I do prefer the way that Mythics and Cosmic Legions do over the way that Boss Fight does. Like, I would be way tempted to pick these up if they had a ball peg waist instead of the diaphragm joints. Again, if you can only have 1 point of articulation. But I gotta say, whoever designed these things, absolutely, like the looks of them, they are crazy cool. I love, everybody, that kind of the fish head's cool. I love the weird alien head. Now, obviously, he doesn't have extra hands. I'm not sure I'd worry. Sometimes, like with NECA, sometimes some of the figures I have don't cover all the bases that I want covered because they're just done so well. And these are done really well. They just don't pose from the waist. At least maybe they do, and I've totally missed it, but none of their pictures show any kind of waist movement. But look, I love that head sculpt on this guy. They're all, they did a great job, for sure. The Pride of Ares. I'm not sure she's even got a diaphragm. But that's okay with her almost, because you're not going to move around much in that armor. Yeah, she's pretty cool. And there's another figure that comes with a quiver, some arrows. Oh, look at that. The bow's attached. Hang on. I want to go back and see. Oh, that's weird. I wonder if she can use the bow. Or if that's just decoration. That wouldn't make sense. They wouldn't do that with the arrows, would they? I don't know. Feel like I need to see more pictures. Maybe there were some and I didn't grab them. Roxy London is the one that I think looks coolest. And I think part of it is just the way that colors work. Yeah, it's definitely the way the colors work. You've got this gold against this almost shimmery purple. And then you've got all these crazy, I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if those are like a purple scroll species that saw her and decided that all humans look like her and wear the same thing. So they're like, here we go. We're going to do this. or maybe they're aliens that she has under her command. I don't know. I don't know. I have to figure things out. But she is very cool, and she doesn't come with quite as much, which leads me to believe that that paint was a costly endeavor. Possibly what's going on her helmet and the backpack as well, or the rocket pack. But yeah, I think these look incredible for sure. Predator is great. Predator 2 is pretty darn good as well. Definitely underrated. Oh man, I've heard good things about Predator. I haven't heard much about anything beyond that. Let's see, but never ever watch The Predator or Alien versus Predator 2 Requiem. Excellent. All right, Predator 1 and 2, and then just regular Alien versus Predator. Did I see something about showing how they got off the planet? Oh, let's see. I don't know. I'm thinking you're still going with some Predator or Alien stuff here. Oh, my mic dropped. Let's see if it's still dropped. Weird interference. Oh. And the worst part is it's just the computer's mic. Sounds okay now. Well, that's good, Mr. Madsen. Thank you. Most female figures never have a diaphragm. Well, they don't. So even I think Marvel Legends, a lot of those are coming with diaphragm joints now. At least the Black Widow I have has one. Let's see. Or unless you were making a joke there and I just totally missed it. But yeah, I'm guessing that's where you went. And I'm slow tonight. With them hips, you know. Oh boy. See, I think there was a comic on how they got off the planet. Good now. It was a minute ago. All right. Whew. Whew. I'm all right. I'll survive. Gives me a rockabye baby vibe from the figure. Digging it. Yeah, it's really cool. Like, that's the thing, is I think the designs, like, I am tempted by these even though there's nothing at the waist. Like, that's when I at least think the designs are pretty incredible. I likely won't get any of them because they don't have the waist articulation, but they look so good. I remember hearing something. Uh-oh. There's more. Okay. Now there's only 5 to go here. We've got this thing, the Sharman and Imp set from Memory Toys. Now, most of us probably, I was on Brick's live stream last Sunday and we talked about this stuff then, but I hadn't busted it out here and I hadn't seen quite so many pictures. This picture here, now obviously there's some heavy photoshopping going on, but that imp, and it sounds like you can get both of these characters separately or as a pack. And that imp is so cool. Anybody that has any kind of demon setup, throw that imp in there and you're good to go. If they made that thing in red, it would be crazy. But this is on 5K Toys. Links in the description. That's a non-affiliate link, but I love this thing, so I had to throw it in there. Look at that. That is one thing about these third-party, like this is World of Warcraft from what I understand, and they killed it. They absolutely killed it on this thing. I mean, like I said, I don't know the source material, but from what I've seen here, I don't care. This thing's awesome. Yeah. And a little weird, a little creepy. I like how the bones are going on, like his spine there. All right. And now that we're past the memory toys guy, let's get into some Ash and oh, good Lord, Dave. And Cheryl. This is something else I need to see still. NECA always brings it with the horror style stuff, guys. Like, I am so impressed. And I'm not even a horror movie guy. But look at that. That's on the thumbnail. I thought that shot was so much fun. That shot, ooh, you hate to see that. And of course, it's NECA. They come with all the things. They've got all the paint. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how well they're going to articulate. My assumption is he'll have a waist cut, and whatever she's got almost doesn't matter just because she's got the shirt that hangs down over her pants. So you won't even see what's going on there. So I'm kind of good with that. But all the stuff that's happening, like the photo possibilities with figures like these are insane. And what's cool about it is you see that with the shots that NECA themselves take. Like oftentimes you'll see shots where characters are just kind of posed differently. But these, while they're posed differently, it's because they've got all kinds of different accessories that they're using in the photo and different hands to use them with and different faces. These are a photographer's dream, especially when you're considering horror movie characters, generally like human type characters. They're not Spider-Man. They're not all over the place with their articulation. So this is probably good enough. I love it. And then the Jigsaw Killer. I just want the accessory. Look at that. Oof. The little tricycle guy. Like I said, I haven't seen Saw or Jigsaw, sorry. I haven't seen this stuff. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say because every time I come across NECA stuff, I'm just like, I got nothing except this stuff's incredible. The work they put into it is incredible, and it's not crazy pricey for being this incredible. So I'm a bit of a fan. Let's see what I missed out on here. Mr. Matson. It was at the beginning of the boss fight slides. Almost sounded like someone else was popping on stream while playing with a mic. Only lasted a minute. Ah, well, it is just me. And the worst part is the mic is literally on the computer. But this is the second night I've heard things like that. Might need to look into that a bit. I hear that's a really good figure. Guessing Ash. Groovy. I know that much. Ah, push the buttons. I need that bloody chainsaw and axe. Not a fan of the figures. You know, that's something else that NECA is good for. Even if you don't want the figures, there's so many things you can use in your shots for your dios. Evil Dead is really good. Just remember that it's a B movie, so don't expect crazy effects. Movie is an instant classic. I tend to not expect crazy effects from anything from back then anyway. Like, remember, Star Wars had crazy effects when it first came out. Let's see, they forgot his broomstick. I'm guessing boomstick. Probably came with another version. You know how toy companies do. There we go. Yeah, I've never heard of Ash riding around like a witch. See, if the figure is based on Evil Dead, then no chain hand on Evil Dead 1. See, only seen the sequel in Army of Darkness. See? There are many of us that need to catch up. Don't watch it, Pix. It will give you nightmares. I don't know. I saw Alien. I feel like I can survive anything. Actually, I had somebody that used to work with me that said Halloween was it. Watch Halloween and you never need to see another horror thing. I did, and I really haven't watched anything since. I thought that was a really cool movie. Psalm 1 is okay. The sequels make Jigsaw look like a boomer, so the sequels were boring for me. Well, you know. Did you check the Rebel Tech gun pack? I have not talked about it yet. Let's get through these. Is that I've noticed a lot of packs or 2 packs when Entertainment Earth did like a big drop of Rebel Tech stuff at the same time. Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, and Ash versus the Evil Dead are all awesome. Wow. Sounds like he might have one of the best movie franchises out there. See, Marvel Legends Professor X in hover chair is back on pre-order. Sweet. I didn't know he went out. I knew I had the link in the video description, so hopefully that one didn't go out. BBTS, got it. Thank you, Kairos. See, picks my jam is John Carpenter's The Thing. I've heard that I need to see The Thing. And I've seen action figures that make me think I need to see The Thing. So I will indeed be making adjustments. Now, I think we've just got a couple more to go. Here we go. We have The Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein's Monster, black and white edition. I love his face sculpts, honestly. He just looks like, what's up, guys? Just here to have fun. Except that one. He looks a little down. That one, he's good to go. Like, I haven't seen this movie or anything. I haven't seen anything Universal Monsters, I don't think, to be very honest. But it's just cool stuff. Like, I can't even, it's stuff that I want to highlight because I know that if people are into these things, that this would make a remarkably cool photo, especially if you had like a background that was black and white and you put him in front of that and shot that without much color adjustment necessary. Oh, that would be so cool. Or, you know how sometimes you have a black and white photo and somebody pops out like a color? Like, here's the yellow from the photo and that's visible, but everything else is black and white, that kind of thing. You could do like a black and white background with a black and white Frankenstein's monster, any of NECA's black and white figures, and then hit the background and the figure with the same color light and just take the shot and leave it like that. And so it's black and white, except you've got like yellow or red or blue or whatever color highlights on the shot. That would be cool. And I think I've just talked myself into needing some of these black and white figures. I'm a sick man. And then we've got the Invisible Man. Now, this version I know that Jada did in the past, but I don't know that they came with quite as much stuff. Whew, that thing looks wicked. Again, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, another one with just tons of stuff. Like, I almost feel bad talking about NECA because I just sound like a broken record, but the photo opportunities you can get from a figure with so many heads and so many hands and so many accessories for not an insane amount of money. I mean, I love my Mafex figures for sure, and they definitely have better articulation than these, but there's less, I don't know how to say it without, like, Mafex, if you've been watching for a bit, you know that's my #1 line. But with stuff like this, where they pay so much attention to the little details, NECA figures almost have the most character of any of the figures out there based on the fact that they come with so much individual things, so much individual stuff. It's just, it blows me away. It's very cool. All right. Let's go now real quick before I get back to the chat. I want to go back Go to EE real quick because I want to find those Rebel Tech packs. And I know I saw them on here when EE did a huge drop of, like, seriously, within a very small amount of time, EE ended up dropping, get out of here. EE ended up showing all these and all these. And this guy, this is what I was talking about, where I was saying, I don't know, Rebel Tech makes figures like that. This, I believe, would be the gun pack you were talking about. Kind of has a Deadpool ring to it. Oh man, I didn't notice this is what has like those crazy blood effects. Like you have one character shooting and the other just looking like all the different spots that the character's been hit. Ooh, yeah, this is cool. And again, something else you can use for your photography. All kinds of crazy accessories here. That blood effect, that makes me happy. I know that sounds twisted. This firing effect is awesome. Yeah, and if it's for Rebel Tech, I think it fits a lot of figures too. That is cool. Then there was one more pack here that I wanted to look at. Once you brought that up. Ooh, this one looks a little more horror style. Ooh. All right. That one has a little more horror, a little more martial arts, maybe. That's what I always think of when I see a fan and nunchaku. Oh, that's a pretty serious blood effect, but that scythe is crazy. By the way, true story here. With these big things, these huge, whatever, cleavers, I believe they are, that's how I used to chop lettuce for tacos when I had roommates in college. It was good times. It made a horrible mess, but it entertained me. Oh, oh man. Yeah, sorry. I know I'm kind of quiet here just because I'm looking at all the cool. Ooh, that's, you know what? The only thing this set is missing is some kind of whooshing effect, like when you're swinging the scythe. Everything else is awesome. This is really cool. Both these sets are cool. All right, time to catch up on the chat. Let me hold on. Before I do that, let me go to there. We can leave this on screen while I'm catching up on the chat. Because ew. Kept me up plenty of nights. All the thing, huh? Now I have to watch it. Let's see who that kid can play. No. The Universal Monster movies is the best cinematic universe ever. Ah, I guess I need to go back. There's clearly I need to do some. I need to sit down for like a year and just watch a lot of stuff. They have Frank's lab table. Let's see, he laid on clearance at some targets. Oh, cool. Wonder, is that one black and white as well? The Invisible Man has some really awesome head sculpts. Yeah, that thing looked ridiculous. And I'm telling you, all the photogenic options. That's why I love that on screen, is because just the photos you can get from that kind of effect. And you don't even have to put much work into it. Only way I'll get the Universal Monster line is if they add an Abbott and Costello 2-pack. Oh, man. That would be all right. What's the one? I still haven't grabbed pictures for the live stream, but they're doing a Laurel and Hardy, not NECA, but somebody's doing a Laurel and Hardy 2-pack. And I'm going to need to get those, I think. I love the comedy. Now we need somebody to go out there and maybe also do some SNL, some other classic comedians. See, that was my favorite Abbott and Costello movie. Which one? What were they? Who was it that they were on? Like, I mean, they were in like a movie with Dracula or Frankenstein or who? NECA definitely has the more bang for your buck. They're miles ahead of Hasbro, but slightly behind Mafex. Yeah, if they can up the articulation on their stuff, that would be tough for Mafex. Sorry, I'm old. Mr. Matson, that'd be awesome if Jada did them. They're my favorite Universal Monsters figures. I don't know, Jada, I think I heard that they don't have the license anymore, which is too bad. I would have loved for them to be able to continue what they were working on. I'd love to get Abbott and Costello figures. Yeah, get those. Hey, Abbott. That wasn't Abbott and Costello. See, same. Or was it? I said that. Now I'm going, oh, my brain. It's broken, guys. It's gone. See, Bud and Lou. Oh, okay. I wrote an ad once for a company where I had 2 monkeys on there and I named them Bud and Lou. Let's see, did you get on the documentary series for the thing expanded by a creator? Ooh, there's a documentary series for the thing? Nope, bad Dave. You must watch the thing before you get into anything else. I mean, documentary-wise. Better the lettuce than your roommates. That's true. That's true. But it was a blast. I would set a head of lettuce there and I'd just be going. Made a mess, but it was fun. Let's see. Nah, I missed that. So, all right, looks like you've got something to go for now, something to find. There will be pre-order opportunities and ordering opportunities. Just won't be able to get your name in the credits. So it's a thing that just happened, huh? FYI, Target has the NECA, let's see, Spoom and Rat King figures on their website in case anybody want them. What's the first one? I feel like I should know the first one. Oh yeah, World of Warcraft. I'm kidding. I shouldn't talk. And yet I have to do live streams. I'm an enigma. I'm planning on getting Mondo Clayface. Oh, that's it, man. Mondo kills it. Mondo's stuff is so good. I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do with the 112 scale He-Man. Spawn? Maybe? Oh, okay. Got it. It's it. Oh, sorry. I was trying to think of. I thought that was huh. Sorry, the brain just died again. Let's see. Stump. Okay. I was like, that didn't sound right, and I couldn't figure out why. Oh, okay. Not a turtle guy. No, you're good. That one, that was the Archie comics, and I just read those recently, like within the last couple of years. I was like, I need to read these. Everybody talks about them. And honestly, what I think made me do it was seeing the NECA figures. I'm like, well, guess I better check these out. All right, gang, I think that's pretty much what we've got for this fine evening, unless anybody has any other figures they're thinking of. Oh, yeah, that Medieval Spawn Kickstarter figure looks like it has a lot of articulation, lots of detail, too. That thing looks ridiculous. Like, I can't even go after anybody for that thing. Usually I'd sit here and I might go on a diatribe about McFarlane toys, but that Spawn looks incredible. So I wish that the original Spawn Kickstarter looked and functioned as well as it looks like that thing's going to. That would have made me happy because I went in on the original one, but I eventually sold it because he was so stiff. I'm like, there's nothing I can do with this. But now I'm going to call it. I think it's been a good night. Everybody's had fun. I think so. We've talked figures. We've talked incredible figures. So with that, I don't think there's anything else we can really do this fine evening. So I will talk to everybody Thursday. Thanks as always for stopping by and hanging out. It's a blast. I love doing this, and I'm stoked to see so many of you start to show up. It's just good times. So next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya.